What's going on, everyone? The competitor here, back with a short MK11 tutorial. I just wanted to briefly go over how to adjust your combos for breakaways. Now, a lot of you may be wondering why, why bring this up so late in the game's life? Because I still don't see people optimally punishing for a beneficial situation. So what I'm talking about is currently the other player has full breakaway, right? They have 2 defensive bars, which is required for them to break out of combos. Much like this. You'll see I'll launch them with the back 2, and I cannot continue my juggle. Unless you have a specific armor breaking move, which every character has, but some are variation specific and some aren't really viable. I say this because Johnny's isn't really the best. So like, when someone has meter, right? I never really launch them because it's not worth doing. I prefer to simply go for an unbreakable combo, and that's why I wanted to make this video really quick. Because if you know your opponent has bar for breakaway, you should always consider your options. Like, okay, I can get my guaranteed unbreakable damage. Like, I can get this guaranteed unbreakable whatever you want, right? Or you can try to launch them. Now, the obvious answer with Johnny would be to just simply go for his unbreakable and showstopper, but you don't get that luxury in his other variations, so that's maybe a reason why you'd want to use this. Showstopper has a huge advantage over outtake because of the unbreakable damage. Because off of any starter, you can do that, and that's 26% unclashable. Like, they can't do anything about that. Versus, if you try to launch them with that, you're not going to get as much damage. Now, I also wanted to bring this up because this makes a big difference when punishing stuff like throws, right? So if your opponent has breakaway, how many times have you done a down 2 crushing blow or a crushing blow launcher just for your opponent to break away immediately? Probably a lot, because I have 2, right? If they have 2 bars, right? Like, let's say you duck a throw. What's your instinct? To down 2 crushing blow punish. But then you're like, oh, they have breakaway. You wasted so much of your damage output that you could have capitalized on at another point in the match by not reserving your launching crushing blow. Whereas, if you duck a throw and they have full meter with showstopper, for example, you could just do your normal punisher on them. So get your guaranteed unbreakable. That's 28% versus, down 2 into what? Down 2 would be Johnny's. I don't think it's worth it, because, look, if they don't have breakaway, right? Like, if we make them waste the breakaway really quick, you could get so much more damage off of it that you wouldn't have if you wasted it because he had breakaway. Now, I chose Showstopper Johnny for an example just because he probably has some of the best unclashable damage in the game, especially with his Shades Crushing Blow. Liu Kang as well. Liu Kang, his combos aren't very reliable they don't really rely on launching. Like, yeah, forward 2, but most of the time it's just going to be this confirmed into your meter burn bicycle kick. So Liu Kang, breakaway really doesn't affect Liu Kang. You really want to scout for your opponent to waste the meter on wake ups and stuff. You can hit them with a nice parry crushing blow. But that even brings up my point again is, with Liu Kang, you're not launching your opponent for huge damage consistently because he doesn't really have a launcher aside from maybe that crushing blow and his down 2. So instead of wasting that crushing blow after like ducking a throw when they have full meter, right? Maybe you want to hold on to those just a bit longer rather than wasting it right away just because you see the opportunity to do a down 2 crushing blow. Because Johnny can easily just break away and Liu Kang will get nowhere near as much damage. Whereas let's say, instead of doing that, you're just making them hold on to their defensive meter, not waking up. Because, they're trying to save it for a breakaway in case they get hit by this, right? Because they don't want to eat all that damage, especially in the corner. So, versus Liu Kang, people want to save that meter for breakaway, but if you never give them the option to breakaway, they're going to be more inclined to want to wake up. And then as soon as they wake up roll once, as soon as they do an up 3 once, then you have all that time while they're rebuilding meter to go in and shimmy them, which then leads to huge damage in the corner off of these crushing blows because of it. Like, you'll have so much more opportunity for the damage. So like going for, you know, off of a throw punish if they have full bar, you're better off just doing this and loading up your crushing blow rather than, you know, every time, you know, you're gonna down 2 and then they break away immediately and then you lose out on all of that damage. Because that could save you later on in the fight as well. Now, I want to go over a couple other characters really quickly, just because they have other combo routes. Like I said, it's going to be different for everyone's main, because some characters have a lot better options than others, such as like Johnny and Sonya. Generally, you're just going to dash up down 2 after a launch, but other characters have combo routes that I don't see that often. So, let's look at Cabal and Scorpion really quickly. So Cabal's main B and B. The main way Cabal's gonna be opening you up, correct, is I believe off of his 1-1-1. So yeah, that's the string 1-1-1. So if we switch to Cabal, his 1-1-1 is an auto shimmy, which is very powerful. Now normally, you know, we'll make him waste the breakaway. So normally Cabal just does 1-1-1 into spin, bop, bop, bop. It does good damage. It does like, yeah, 246. Now what happens if we just do if we shorten that? So instead of confirming into that, you can confirm and just do down back 4, which armor breaks. You're only doing 18%, so that is a damage cut, but you have to think about the situation. If you do this into spin, you're not gonna get punished for it, but you know, you let them get out of your combo. Whereas if they have bar and you do this regardless if they break away or not, you have Oki. So you're missing out on damage. But then you can, you know, dash up forward 4, dash up down 1, whatever you need to do. And if they do break away, you get a crushing blow off it. So it's kind of worth it. But I would like to see more people actually just go for this, because even if you spend a bar, like you're getting, you know, 22% into Oki. So I just feel like Cabal players don't do that enough. So like instead of punishing with this is another unique situation, right? So Cabal has some really good crushing blows as well, punishing ones. So instead of like with Johnny, where I said you don't want to punish someone with a crushing blow like a down 2 because he can't do anything about it, Cabal's a unique character because if you do punish someone with breakaway with a down 2, you get to do his down back 4. So normally, you know, you do a much larger combo. So like here, we'll launch him, and you know, something with his down 2 or this, you know, he could do a lot of damage into launchers, whatever it may be, whatever his BMB is. He does big damage, but sometimes you won't get that luxury because they'll break away. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth just canceling into his armor breaker after every launch? So like if you just do down back 4, right? That does 27.5%, which that's decent damage, but it's not the best. But you have to think about it. If they broke away, you lose, you take no risk whatsoever. So like you actually get a crushing blow. So, you know, if you want to meter burn that, you could really cash out on damage. You're doing almost 37%. Versus, you know, if you wanted to go for max damage, then you don't get anything extra. So it's a little bit different with Cabal versus like the Liu Kang dynamic, because these launching crushing blows, you have an option to stop them using your armor breaker. So it just depends, you know, if you want to play where you're getting more consistent damage every time and you really want to take away that threat of breakaway, you can always do that afterwards. Or if you you feel like your opponent's just not going to break away, you can go for optimals. But the point of this is, the damage difference, right? Like 24 versus just doing 20, well 21, let's round up, but you get Oki. So, you have to ask yourself, do you want to take the risk of them not breaking away, or just guarantee that they're not going to break away every time? Because the damage output's still good either way. And Scorpion as well. Like Scorpion, he has some amazing damage without launching. So normally you would do back 1-4 no launch or whatever you want to do. And I don't know the BMB, something like this. But there's an opportunity to break away the second he does EX teleport. So instead of that, you could always just confirm into spear and keep it meterless. Like for a bar, you're missing out on some damage, but they can't break away and you get Oki. So it's always good to note, like, right there, they could have broke away and boom, you lose your turn. You can even get punished if you throw a spear at the wrong time. Or, you could keep it unbreakable, and you can actually do some pretty good unbreakable damage with Scorpion. Even tying into a crushing blow. And then look at that tick. And then go up for a throw. It's really solid. So, that's what I made this video for. I just want you guys to think about your options. Instead of just going for the same combo every time, consider if your opponent has breakaway or not. Should you save that down 2 crushing blow to where they don't have breakaway? Or does it not matter because you have a character like Cabal or Kung Lao who can, really cash out on that? Alright, but thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments, how you like to deal with breakaway. Does your character have a really good breakaway? Or are you in the Johnny and Sonya boat where you just gotta dash down 2 after any launcher? Leave a like if this helped you. Think about different ways to approach the situation, or, how to pay attention to your opponent's meter management. And remember, subscribe for more tutorials and more gameplay on MK11, and I will be uploading more fighting games soon, so stay tuned for that.